please disregard the nasaliness of my voice and the constant mouth breathing because it's allergy season.
Allergies are a bitch.
They are terrible. We're here bringing you the indie news.
Indeed.
Talking about the results and upcoming shows of the independent wrestling scene.
Absolutely.
Across the United States and sometimes in the UK as well. We're going to start off with the results. I've got AIW's Night of the Creeps, which happened on this past Saturday.
Yeah.
Derek Direction defeated Big Twan Tucker. Dr. Daniel C. Rockingham and Brian Carson defeated Philly Collins and Marino Tenaglia.
Tenaglia?
Tanaglia? Whatever it is.
Tenaglia.
Yeah. Dominic Greedy defeated Myron Reed. Alex Daniels successfully defended the Intense Championship against Facade.
Mm-hmm.
Weird World initially defeated Team 2 Infinity for the tag titles until the referee noticed Colin Delaney's foot was on the ropes, thus restarted the match, and 2 Infinity retains, essentially, the tag championships.
We can most likely expect a rematch at the next AAW show.
Yeah. Garrison King defeated Trey Lamar, Chase Oliver, and the Double M guy again.
Malcolm Monroe III?
Yeah, that one. Joshua Bishop defeated Jonathan Wolfe. The Young Studs and the Jollyville Fuckets went to a no contest due to outside interference. Frankie Flynn defeated Parker Pierce. And in the main event, which was supposed to be Shayna Baszler defending against Candice LeRae, Candice LeRae couldn't make it, so there was a replacement in place, and Shayna Baszler successfully defended the Women's Championship from Angel Dust.
Yes. It was it ended up being Shayna Baszler doing a open challenge.
Yeah. And then we had Combat Zone Wrestling's Tournament of Death 16.
Which we'll probably be watching sometime later this week. I'm so excited.
Probably. Starting off with our non-tournament matches.
Yes.
We had that 4 quarters of pain match where Dan O'Hara defeated George Gatton, Jimmy Lloyd, and Kit Osborne. We had the Fans Bring the Weapons match. Matt Tremont defeated Man Pondo. And then we had the tag team scaffold match where Danny Havoc's partner ended up being Alex Cullen as they defeated Notorious Inc.
Alright.
Which was weird because Alex used to be like a feuding with Nation of Intoxication back in the day.
Weird things happen, man.
Yeah. Then we had the actual tournament. Let's go over the tournament results. In the first round, the Pain in the Glass match. Jimmy Havoc defeated Ricky Shane Page and John Wayne Murdoch. In the Light Tubes and Cinder Blocks match, Jeff Cannonball defeated G Raver, Hyphen Raver, or Graver. Who knows? Not us. I'm sure there are a lot of people that know.
We'll find out when we watch it, maybe.
Yeah. In the Doorway to Death match, Masada defeated Schlack. And Barbed Wire Craziness, Connor Claxton defeated Clip Margera. In the semifinals, in a summertime fun death match, Connor Claxton defeated Jeff Cannonball. And in the Light Tube Treachery match, Jimmy Havoc defeated Masada. And in the finals, in a no ropes, no canvas, barbed wire and light tubes death match, Jimmy Havoc defeated Connor Claxton to become your Tournament of Death champion.
Congratulations, Jimmy Havoc.
I just feel bad for Connor Claxton.
Yeah.
He just keeps getting right there to the end and then...
Yup.
Come on, Reg. You can do it.
Yeah, that's his nickname, isn't it? Yeah.
Connor Reg Claxton. And that... No, just kidding. That's not it. Because we have surprise results.
What? Kinda.
Yeah, boy. Yeah, boy.
Yeah, boy. We've been messing with yeah, boy. All week.
Dare I say trolling? Yeah, boy.
So if we didn't piss you off and you're watching this, thanks for coming back. We just wanted to fuck with you because the name of the show is called Hide. So we pretended that it was hidden.
We pretended that we could not see the show.
Yes.
The show in which Ken Bai defeated Kobold, the Cajun Crawdad and Hermit Crab defeated the Throwbacks, Silverhawk defended the Young Lions Cup against Cornelius Crumbles, Frightmare defeated Silver Ant, and then proceeded to rip off both of his antennae.
That's not a good sign for Silver Ant.
No, well, I mean, we know what happened to Soldier Ant after that happened. He was retired from action.
We haven't seen him since.
Yeah. And 4 members of the Furies, Fire Ant, Ophidian, Travis Huckabee, and Solo Darling defeated Chocolate and Vanilla Ice Cream. That's Chuck Taylor, Dustin, and Los Ice Creams.
Yes.
In a 4-against-4 Atomic Coast match. And in the main event for the Grand Championship, Juan Francisco de Coronado successfully defended against O'Barian.
Yes.
And then in a encore match, Des Pelleton teamed up with Officer Warren Barksdale, and they defeated Sonny Defarge, Rick Rowland, and The Whisper.
Yeah, and apparently the Whisper is like screwing with Ophidian now.
Yeah.
Because after the Furies match, the Whisper played a video and asked Ophidian if he was missing something, and there was the reveal of 17's mask. And we haven't seen 17 in a very long time.
Yeah. 17's last official appearance was...
It was still
It was National Pro Wrestling Day. On the return of Chikara.
Yeah, it was still during the Flood storyline, wasn't it?
Yeah. And because what had happened is when they got in the big brawl, someone mysteriously pulled 17 aside.
Oh,
and
yeah.
then Mike Quackenbush, I think, made a promise to... This was like a post-credit scene on one of the DVDs, I think. It was Quackenbush made a promise to... I think it was Dieter von Steigerwald, who was the director of fun during the beginning of the BDK era, saying that he would keep 17 safe. So...
Interesting.
This is another one of those far-fetched, long-running stories, perhaps finally coming to a head.
It's one of the things we really love from Chikara is the fact that they can do something and then they're so good at bringing it back around. They don't leave loose ends very often in Chikara, if at all. So,
it's kind of nice.
Yeah, it is. Is it my turn?
Yeah. We'll start with
All
ROH
right.
TV.
Yeah, we watched Ring of Honor. And it was a good time for Mr. Kevin Hawk to be watching Ring of Honor because our opening match, we talked about it last week, it was a 6-man tag team match where the Young Bucks and Hangman Page were taking on Roppongi Vice and a mystery partner. They hadn't found a partner to take on the Bullet Club yet.
And we kind of thought Adam Cole.
Adam Cole was a possibility. Frankie Kazarian was a possibility because he's having an issue with Hangman Page.
Both of the boys on each other's shoulders wearing a giant trench coat.
That totally could have been the thing, but they're hiding because
Jay
Briscoe wants to eat them.
That's weird.
Well, he said he'd eat them alive. I'm just throwing it out there. But it ended up being the Kentucky Gentleman, Chucky T.
Yeah, that's exciting.
Chucky T making his ROH debut. And initially there was a lot of issues on the face side because Rocky was upset with Trent because Trent introduced Chucky T as his best friend.
Well, and he said, and like my real tag team partner.
Yeah, and so it soured Rocky on the team for a little while. He even tried to. He was doing his forever clotheslines, and he tried to do a forever clothesline twice on both Chuck and Trent, but the second duck under ended up getting the Young Bucks instead. But eventually, Rocky did come around because there was a lot of sacrificing. There was a full-on super kick party happening where the Young Bucks and even Hangman Page at one point were super kicking everybody. And then Chuck was about to eat another super kick from both of the Bucks. Rocky ended up blocking it, got a super kick himself. But then, as they were setting up for the Meltzer driver on Chucky T, Trent ended up pulling Nick off of the apron, and Chucky T was able to hit the Awful Waffle on Matt Jackson, and Roppongi Vice and Chucky T pick up the 6-man win, and we had a 3-man hug afterwards. So now they're all
3 best friends in any book have.
Then we had a tag team match.
That's right. It's 2017. I'm making the Hangover reference.
Well, that seemed very justified. That was a good time to reference the Hangover. We had a tag team match where it was Search and Destroy. That is Jay Lethal and Jay White and Jonathan Gresham. I like that team more anyway.
I feel like you smashed both guys together.
Yeah.
And that's what you would come out with.
It was Jay, short black guy. But no, Jay White and Jonathan Gresham, the underlings of the Motor City Machine Guns, taking on the Rebellion's Shane Taylor and Rhett Titus with Caprice Coleman at ringside. This was a good match for the majority of it. A couple of moments where Caprice Coleman got involved, and then everything just kind of started breaking down because Search and Destroy was doing really well, and then out of nowhere, Kenny King came out and gave a spine buster to Jonathan Gresham, and then shit just started hitting the fan. Alex Shelley, who was at ringside for commentary, ended up getting in, and then Saban came in, and then Coleman got back in, and it was just all kinds of craziness. So the ref just ended up throwing the match out.
Jumped on everyone.
Yes, he did. But the challenge was put out by Alex Shelley himself that we will be getting ourselves, excuse me, an 8-man tag team match at Best in the World, where all 4 members of the Rebellion and all 4 members of Search and Destroy will go against each other, and the losing team must disband. Please let it be the Rebellion.
Got my fingers crossed.
So, that is it. And we'll be talking about that in a couple weeks, because I believe that is on the 23rd. So, got a couple more weeks before that happens. And then our main event was Kushida challenging Marty Scurll for the ROH World TV Championship, and this match was fantastic.
It was a really good match.
Great chemistry. I can only imagine they had some pretty awesome matches during the... they might have been in the same block of the Super Juniors. I'm not totally sure, but if they were, I'm sure they rocked it. Both guys getting a lot of really great offense. Both guys having great moments throughout this match.
Yeah.
It's 2 very solid workers, 2 very solid juniors. Marty Scurll, though, fully in control towards the end. Had a big ol' hype up for the chicken wing, which he actually escaped from Kushida. Because Kushida did like a variation.
Kushida's submission of choice is the Kimura arm lock.
Yes.
They call it the double wrist lock, though.
And he calls it the hoverboard lock. But Marty Scurll ended up getting out of it, despite it looking very much like he was going to tap to that move. But then he wanted as much attention on him, as much adulation from the crowd as possible for the chicken wing that would for sure retain the ROH TV title. But before he could lock it in, before he could even yell chicken wing, the lights went out. And they were out for a good 10-15 seconds probably. When they came back on, a wild Marty Scurll appeared on the apron with slightly longer hair. That Marty Scurll took off his hat and his mask to reveal Adam Cole, baby! And then it was all downhill from there. Marty Scurll, distracted by Adam Cole, ended up getting dropped by Kushida with a cradle brainbuster. I'm not sure what you would call it, but it was
small package driver.
Small package driver. Oh, there's a name for it.
It's one of Trevor Lee's signature moves.
Kevin Hawk knows things, and Kushida is the new ROH World TV Champion. Did not expect that to happen.
No, it's kind of one of those things that, like, a lot of times because the tapings in ROH all kind of happen, like, usually the tapings between, like, one pay-per-view and the next
Yeah.
either happen in, like, the course of, like, 1 or 2 days.
Yeah.
So the fact that we didn't hear anything about Kushida winning the ROH TV title,
Yeah.
kind of it was a good thing that it kind of threw us for a loop.
Yeah, because we were fully expecting a Marty Scurll retention, and the fact that we didn't get one was pretty awesome.
Yeah.
So, but that is it for Saturday's results.
Yeah.
Now,
You keep going. I gotta go grab something from over there real quick. I gotta get a refill.
what? Oh,
Even though
okay.
they don't refill cans, but I'm just gonna go get another one.
We're gonna talk about
The New Japan.
New Japan and then the
The
Powerbomb.
Powerbomb.tv.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just keep doing that. I'll be over there.
What
Real quick.
do you mean you're gonna be over there?
I mean, I'm gonna be over there. Over there.
Okay. I guess he's just going to listen from over there. We're going to start talking about New Japan Pro Wrestling's Dominion that happened on Sunday. This was the big hype around Omega versus Okada 2 in the main event, but we had some great matches prior to that. We had Tiger Mask W, Togi Makabe, and Yuji Nagata end up winning an 8-man tag at the open of the show. We had a gauntlet match for the Never Openweight Championship, or the Never Openweight 6-man tag team titles, where we had Los Ingobernables retain over Taguchi Japan, Suzuki Gun, Chaos. There was so many different teams, and like a 6-man tag team gauntlet is a very interesting thing to watch. So a lot of fun with that one. Los Ingobernables were on top of their stuff this time. We had the Young Bucks pick up their 6th IWGP Junior Heavyweight Tag Team titles over Roppongi Vice. They had Roppongi Vice's number from the beginning. They immediately took out Rocky. Worked on Beretta through most of the match. Beretta made a slight comeback, but it was very difficult for him to come back, and then Rocky made another attempt. But yeah, the Bucks have all of their freaking tag titles back. It is insane. The only ones they don't have are the PWG tag titles, and they have to go against Lucha Bros to get those back. Then we had the heavyweight tag team titles on the line, and the Gorillas of Destiny picked those up from War Machine. A fantastic heavyweight match. I love watching the Gorillas build as a tag team. The fact that they're brothers, helps with their chemistry, and they're great. They're a great match for War Machine to top it off. We're gonna keep going with the Bullet Club picking up wins because Cody defeated Michael Elgin. These two worked really well together. It's kind of that big man, smaller guy kind of situation where they play off of each other really well. You got the different styles. I mean, I'm a huge fan of Cody Rhodes. I was a big fan of his when he was in WWE, and now I'm an even bigger fan now that he gets to kind of do whatever he wants. And he does a great job at all of that stuff. So yeah, he picked up another win for the Bullet Club. Then we had Kushida trying to get back the Junior Heavyweight Championship against Hiromu Takahashi. These two had a very physical battle. And the Osaka crowd, they were at the Osaka Joe Hall in Osaka, Japan, and it's very, they change sides a lot. They don't necessarily like the viciousness of certain attacks. They like it to be fair. So, they'll boo initially, and then something will happen, and then they switch back real quick. But Kushida ended up taking the title back after really doing a lot of damage to the arm of Takahashi, to where Takahashi could not get out of the hoverboard lock. And then, yeah, okay, that was after the match. So yeah, Hiromu's, he's pissed off. He's walking away. Kushida ended up getting sprayed in the eyes by the green mist from Bushi. So not only there was a slight like, hey, we should do this one more time from Hiromu, and so now could we see a triple threat match? I mean, that would be a fantastic match if we had Bushi, Kushida, and Takahashi. They would have fantastic matches, and I mean, for a championship like the junior heavyweight title, it'd be a pretty big thing. So, but yes, Kushida is the junior heavyweight champion once again. Then we had a lumberjack death match. There wasn't really anything death matchy, wasn't like CZW death match. It was just you had Suzuki Gun on one side, and then you had Chaos on the other side. As we had. We had Minoru Suzuki defending his championship against Hiroki Goto. A lot of issues with Liger at ringside. Liger was throwing chairs at Suzuki, that was like, you're getting some heat when commentators are throwing stuff at you. But Minoru Suzuki ends up picking up the win, and yeah, there's a lot. I love the tension in Japan. It makes it feel like these people really hate each other. Maybe they do. I don't know. And that's the brilliant thing about New Japan is like their aggression towards each other just seems so real. Then we had Tetsuya Naito looking to keep. He's been destroying the Intercontinental title, and he wants to retire the belt. He's literally destroying it, so New Japan has no other choice but to retire it, because he feels like the championship doesn't deserve to be around anymore. But we had Hiroshi Tanahashi trying to take it back. These two, again, very physical, lots of back and forth. The Osaka crowd originally kind of on the side of Naito, and then kind of went against him, and then Tanahashi had a few really aggressive moments that they didn't quite like, and so it was a lot of back and forth stuff. But in the end, Tanahashi did end up winning. He made Tetsuya Naito tap out to a sharpshooter, or like a cloverleaf type of thing. And so now, the fact that the belt has been destroyed, if they don't retire it, there's a good chance that they're going to do like a brand new design for it, and it would make sense someone like Tanahashi creating a new design for the championship. But then in the main event, we had Kazuchika Okada defending once again the IWGP Heavyweight Championship against Kenny Omega, and this match was insane. I mean, their match at Wrestle Kingdom was great. I think this might have topped it, especially with how intense the crowd was into it. It got to a point where, like, you can tell that there's a sense of, like, oh man, like, this person needs something now, otherwise they're going to lose. Well, Okada kept countering everything that Omega was doing, and got to a point where he was in the driver's seat, or so it seemed. And the entire Bullet Club, the Bucks were already at ringside in Kenny's corner, and then Okada had Gato in his corner. But the entire Bullet Club comes down, and Cody is getting ready to throw the towel in, and the Bucks have to physically stop him. And then you watch Kenny Omega come back, and it's just back and forth. They cannot keep each other down for a count of 3. It is insane, and they go to a 60-minute time limit draw. Therefore, Kazuchika Okada remains the champion, and he didn't seem like he was okay with that. He definitely needs some closure, so I think we could be looking at a potential Okada versus Omega 3. And if they keep going, I think that if they get no time limit, I can see them easily going maybe an hour and a half. So we'll see what happens there. But for now, Kazuchika Okada is still the IWGP Heavyweight Champion. And he's still not back, so we're going to talk about Break the Barrier. This was Vin Gerard. Thanks again, Vin, for allowing us to get a chance to watch this show and really enjoy different wrestling that we might not have known. There were a few moments where the buffering had to happen, so I did miss out on a few things during matches, but I did eventually figure out a way to where I only missed maybe a couple of seconds. Did take me out of it for a couple of matches, but overall, the wrestling was great. The show was awesome. The commentary was great from the former Leonard F. Chikarason. We had Dasher Hatfield. We had a few other people on commentary, which was great. So I'm just going to run through the matches here real quick. Originally, what was supposed to be a triple threat match ended up being just one-on-one for the Grand Slam Wrestling Adrenaline Championship, where Brute Van Slyke retained over Stevie Shields. Beyond Wrestling gave us John Silver defeating Tracy Williams. C4 Wrestling gave us Bucks Belmar defeating Joey Janela. A very strange end. Not sure if the referee quite knew what was happening, but there was a big move onto chairs. A lot of use of chairs. By the way, Kevin Hawk, if you can, I don't think you can hear me. He knows that I love the monkey flip, and they may have done my favorite monkey flip in this match because Bucks had Joey sitting in a chair, did the monkey flip, and Joey did a full flip, landed the chair on its feet, and then sold it like an atomic drop. It was fucking fantastic. Women's Wrestling Revolution gave us Penelope Ford defeating Renee Michelle. We had Tag Team Partners Collide. Deshaun Pratt, formerly Amasis, taking on Ophidian. He did defeat Ophidian despite Ophidian hypnotizing the referee and coercing him to make it a no DQ match. That ended up being the undoing. There was an Egyptian destroyer off the second rope onto a table. The table didn't break, so Ophidian was going to try and do it again. Deshaun Pratt ended up hitting a flipping DDT onto the table itself and ended up beating Ophidian. Fantastic match. Old Wrestling gave us Jeff King defeating Dasher Hatfield. This was so much fun because they do like a whole old-timey filter, and it wasn't Bryce Remsburg who was refereeing. It was Bronco Lupich Jr. He had suspenders on. He gained a little weight. We had the hay bales in the corner. It felt so old school. There was, no pile drivers were allowed. You couldn't throw them over the top rope. There was another rule that I couldn't quite remember, but it was just it was such a cool little a new thing to do for wrestling. I myself never would have thought of it. Didn't know it was a thing until now. Plus, I really like Dasher Hatfield, so fun to watch. Then we had our little intermission. Came back with New South Wrestling giving us the Carnies defeating the Monarchy. That was Baron Black and Prince Apollo. Then we had Puma King and El Felino. It was supposed to be Tiger, but he had some issues with his visa where it was going to be expiring if he had stayed in the country, so he didn't want to deal with any of that situation. So El Felino ended up taking his place, and he and Puma King defeated Skida and Guerrero Maya Jr. Fantastic lucha match. Just the fact that Skida has been wrestling for as long as he has. All these guys are legends, and they were amazing in that ring. Just so fluid, so much fun to watch. Colt Cabana defeated Orange Cassidy. This was comedy gold. So much fun. I've seen these two, in separate matches. I don't know if I've ever actually seen them go against each other, but yeah, no, this was just comedy at its best, plus really great wrestling. So fun no matter what type of wrestling you're into. And then in the main event, we had a four-way match where Fly Warrior defeated Jigsaw, Chuck Taylor, and Ken Bai. Again, all four guys on top of their game. Fantastic match. Post-match, Fly Warrior was in the ring. Jonathan Gresham, who was sitting at ringside with Stokely Hathaway, ended up getting in and wanted to shake his hand. He ended up attacking Fly Warrior, taking his mask. He was saved by Jigsaw, and Stokely, I guess, is in a working relationship with Jonathan Gresham. He went over and grabbed the Powerbomb TV title, which is going to be decided in a 3-country tournament. I'm still getting a little bit of news about that. I'll probably go into it a bit more next week on any news in the news section once I get all the real information. So yeah, Jonathan Gresham apparently is going to be a part of that. as well as potentially Fly Warrior, since he did win this match. I would assume that a lot of the winners from this show might be entered into tournaments like that. I believe it's going to be U.S., Canada, and maybe Mexico. So we'll see what ends up being the deal with that. But I will say again, despite having a little bit of trouble with the stream, getting on the stream initially, and then a few buffering moments here and there, overall I did enjoy Powerbomb.tv. So check out the link down below. You can sign up for your free trial. There is a ton. There's 179 shows from 33 different promotions. Go on there, see if there's something you like. A lot of Mexico stuff. A lot, C4 is on there. There's a lot of really great stuff is on there. I'm gonna give it a shot and see what else I can find. See if I see a new promotion that I've never seen. Maybe I'll like it. So, but yeah, no, it was a lot of fun to watch, and I look forward to more. So once again, thank you, Vin, for giving us that chance. And dude, you missed all the results.
No, I didn't. I was just right over there.
You heard me?
Yeah.
Alright. Okay, well, now that's out of the way.
The fridge isn't very far, bro.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe my hearing's bad. I usually can't hear anything from over there. Anyway, we got one quick news story to talk about. Crash, which is a big
upcoming Lucha Libre promotion in Mexico,
has now come together with a working relationship with the newest craze over here in the Northwest, Defy.
Yeah.
To where Defy is usually does shows in Seattle and Tacoma. Defy's got another show coming up pretty soon, and apparently they're going to do a full The Crash show in Seattle.
Yeah.
So that is awesome. More Lucha Libre here in the Northwest. So I'm all.
And now they have working partnerships with The Crash and CZW.
Yeah. So Defy is
making waves
in the indie world. So yeah, we might have to start covering Defy, and we need to go to a show eventually.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't be shocked if we end up going live to one of their shows.
Fuck it, we'll do it live. But that is it for news. It's time for upcoming shows, where I have none. I'll have some pretty soon, because we've only got a couple weeks until Ring of Honor is back.
Yeah.
So. But yeah, I'm gonna give it to you. Where we've got 5.
Yeah. All right. So. Big weekend for House of Hardcore.
Yes.
They're doing their Australia tour.
They are indeed.
So we're going to start off talking about House of Hardcore 27. It's going to be in Brisbane, Australia. We've got the Young Bucks taking on a former WWE Tag Team Champions team.
Maybe the Squad.
I'm thinking it's this one. Swaggy Jackson versus Billy Gunn. Tommy Dreamer takes on Muhammad Ali Vi. I'm going to say Vi.
If you know how to pronounce that name, let us know in the comments.
Matt Cross versus Eddie Phoenix versus Robbie Eagles in a 3-way match. That's all they have announced so far. Also, on this upcoming Saturday, the 17th, AAW's Killers Among Us from Marionette Park, Illinois. We've got Zack Sabre Jr. versus Matt Fitchett, Eddie Kingston versus Jeff Cobb, War Machine versus Red Dragon, Abyss versus Low Key, Johnny Mundo Nitro Morrison Hennigan versus Brian Cage, Penta El Zero M defends the Heritage Championship against Trevor Lee, and Sami Callihan is going to defend the AAW Championship against Michael Elgin.
Yeah.
Sami Callihan and Michael Elgin have been doing a lot of matches against each other recently.
Yeah, it's I don't know. They had some sort of epiphany where they're like, hey, we have really good chemistry together, so let's just wrestle everywhere.
Yeah.
And now they're doing it.
So, also on Saturday, House of Hardcore 28 from Sydney, Australia.
Yeah.
With the Young Bucks taking on the Old Bucks, that being Tommy Dreamer and Billy Gunn. Swaggy Jackson takes on Muhammad Ali Vi. MVP is going to be in this show. He's going to take on Matt Cross. And the former WWE Tag Champs are going to be holding an open challenge.
All right.
Still thinking it's the Spirit Squad.
Probably. Maybe.
And then on Sunday the 19th, over at the Wrestle Factory.
We're doing it again.
In Philly.
Doing it again?
Yes.
Chikara!
Because we have the Johnny Kidd Invitational.
Yeah. And, I mean...
This is an 8-person single elimination tournament. Basically honoring the legacy of one of the best technicians in the world today, I guess, even though he doesn't wrestle anymore. Johnny Kidd.
Still one of the best of all time.
Yeah.
Because he's fantastic.
So you're going to imagine that a huge emphasis of this tournament is all going to be based around catch wrestling.
I am excited for that.
Yeah. Because we're going to have James Mason taking on current Grand Champion Juan Francisco de Coronado.
Yeah.
Hollow Wicked is going to be taking on Matt Riddle, making his Chikara debut.
And he's been wanting to get in Chikara for a while now. So.
Relative rookie Travis Huckabee is going to be taking on the amazing Rory Gulak. And Zack Sabre Jr. in a rematch to WrestleMania Weekend's impromptu match is going against Mike Quackenbush.
Zack v. Quack 2.
I'm going to make a bold prediction here. The finals is going to be a rematch between Juan Francisco de Coronado and Zack Sabre Jr. The match that made Juan Francisco de Coronado a top player in Chikara.
I could see that. I also thought maybe Sabre versus Gulak.
Maybe. I think if it's not going to be Sabre versus Juan, it's going to be Hollow Wicked versus Quackenbush.
I definitely think Sabre's going to take it over Quack.
Oh, I wouldn't be surprised.
So, yeah, I'm definitely going with Sabre in the finals. So.
And then also on Sunday, still in Australia, but this time in Perth, House of Hardcore 29, Billy Gunn takes on Muhammad Ali Vai. Tommy Dreamer is going to be in a 3-way dance with Matt Cross and Andy Phoenix. Swaggy Jackson goes against MVP, and Mark Cometti takes on Ryan Nemeth. And then there's going to be a rematch, I'm assuming, of the Young Bucks versus the WWE former Tag Team Champion people.
Unless it's another former WWE Tag Team Champions, which, I mean, maybe.
Yeah, how many former WWE Tag Team Champions are you going to fly to Australia, guys?
Headbangers.
Oh, that's true.
Headbangers,
The
Spirit
Godwins.
Squad. The God. I don't think the Godwins are going to be there. Edge and Christian. No, not going to happen.
Demolition.
Maybe. I don't think Demolition's going to go to Australia, though.
The Rockers?
Sean and Marty?
Yeah.
No.
Sean's going to come out of retirement for House of Hardcore.
Probably not, but, you know, anything to get Marty back on track. I don't know. Marty could use all the help he can get nowadays. But
Hey, it could be Marty Jannetty and 1-2-3 Kid.
Were they tag team champions?
Yeah.
Ah.
I mean, they did it for Chikara. Like, 5 years ago.
Sean Waltman and Just Incredible. Were they tag team champions?
I don't think X Factor ever made it to Tag Belts.
I'm just thinking of all
Too
the time.
cool.
Hell yeah. No, because Scotty's a trainer at the PC.
I think give him a weekend off.
To go wrestle for... That's fine. Maybe. I don't know. We'll find out. But for now, thanks for watching.
Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe.
Click on the links. Because there's a lot of them.
There's a lot of links.
The most important ones are the ones that are at the top of the description.
Yeah, those are the people that we just got done talking about and that we do talk about, but we didn't perhaps talk about them today because they don't have an upcoming show next weekend.
Exactly. like ChikaraPro.com,
or ccwrestling.com,
ROHWrestling.com,
or WWElive.com.
and many more. But we want to add more based on your suggestion. If you want to be like Jamie or Yeah Boy, send us links to any of the social medias down there, whether it's our Facebook, it's our email, it's our Twitters. Just send us links to YouTube pages, Facebook pages, websites, anywhere that we can get.
Send me a Snapchat while you're at a show.
You can do that. Send us a little bit of your favorite and or local promotion, where we can get a little bit of taste of what they've got going on. Plus, if you can provide upcoming shows and immediate results within 24 hours of the show, that is
It's a big
preferred.
brownie point.
But if we like what we see and we can get all that information, we will not only continue to talk about them, but we'll give you a shout out for bringing them to our attention.
Yeah, we will.
Also, check out the podcast.
That's another link down there.
This review along with others. You'll want to stay on the YouTube this week because we do have Money in the Bank predictions coming up this weekend.
Yeah, with the first ever women's Money in the Bank match.
Exactly.
Hell yeah.
And be sure to check out Reasonable Wrestling Fans.
It's reasonable to W.
Like wrestling, where we've got a bunch of extra content over there. We're looking to put more up there very soon. We just haven't had time to record some, but soon we will. But for now, thanks for watching. We'll see you at whatever video you decide to watch next. Steve died.
Yeah, he did. That's dramatic.
Fuck fear, drink beer. I don't drink. Steve died.